Awesome, awesome. Welcome, 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 everybody. I am so excited for everyone that is on this call, you guys. Before we get into all of the details, I am going to go talk a little bit about myself and my story. My name is Yanelis Rosa, 28 years old, born and raised in Miami, Florida. And if you're anything like me, you guys, you have experienced a period in your life where you really didn't know what you wanted to do, but you knew that you wanted more. So I'm really, really excited for you all to be on this call today because it's an answer for me. It'll be an answer for you. So if you've been looking for a sign, you guys, I'm just here to tell you that this is it. The information that you are about to receive is something that can fully transform your life if you allow it to, if you really take this opportunity and run with it, okay? So a little bit about my story. Before I found out about this project, I was an occupational therapist. I actually started my first business at the age of 20, and I worked as a home health therapist for about 5 years. Quickly started to realize that it was exhausting for me, and it wasn't going to give me the lifestyle that I wanted, right? So after searching and searching and searching for different ways of generating income, I realized that the internet is the future, right? The internet is where everything is going. Everything is going digital at this moment. I don't know if you guys have realized, especially now in COVID. So I'm just really excited to have you guys here because this information, especially coming from this person, is going to change your life because I saw the way that it changed his, right? And I realized that after watching his entire journey, after watching how he's grown, after watching how life has changed, not just for him, for me, because he does happen to be my husband, I realized that this was a no-brainer. Getting into this project was something that I knew I was meant to do. It was something that was aligned with me. It was a present that the universe just gifted, wrapped, and gave it to me in the palm of my hand. So this next person that is coming up, it's going to share all the secrets of how our lives have been able to change within the last 5 to 7 years. He is what is called a Chairman 750. You guys will learn what that means later on. He is someone who really cares for the people. He is an incredible leader. And I don't just say that because he's my husband. He really, really is. He's been able to grow organizations of over 300,000 people all around the world, spoken stages, it's on stages in over 40 countries. And it's just someone that when he's speaking, you really want to go ahead and listen. So I hope you all pull out some notepads and pens so that you're able to write down any questions that you might have. And I'm going to pass this over to my husband, Matthew Rosa, Chairman 750 here with iMarkets, I Am Academy, and I'm just going to pass it over to him, babe. Take it away.
Absolutely, absolutely. First and foremost, everybody on this call, it's an absolute pleasure to have the opportunity to connect with y'all. Wherever it is that you guys are at in the world right now. I know we got a bunch of the CEOs and high rollers fam out in Bradenton, Florida right now. Shout out to you guys. And wherever it is that you're at in the world right now, I hope you guys are really thriving and not just surviving. I know it's some crazy times outside right now. I know every time we turn on the news, it's some sort of an update, right? And when I jump on calls like this, it's a breath of fresh air because this is a place where people have the opportunity to be inspired. People have the opportunity to be dedicated towards something, not just motivated towards something. And people have the opportunity to experience change because I really believe that accessibility towards specific information could potentially change all of our situations, right? So you guys are on a call right now to learn as to why it is that over 300,000 individuals, 300,000 families have made the conscious and cognitive decision to partner here within I Am Mastery Academy. You see on this call, you guys are going to learn about two of the largest financial markets in the world. You guys are going to learn about an educational platform that's literally cutting the learning curve for people literally all over the world in over 40 different countries. You're going to learn about how it is that you can get this platform for free. And you're also going to learn how it is that you could get paid for sharing this platform as well. So without further ado, my name is Matt Rose. I'm a Chairman 750 and one of the top leaders here within the company. I've been with the company now since November of 2015. And I've been in this amazing industry since 2012. And truth be told, none of this was really the intention. None of this was the intention. I had no intention of being on a call with about 60 individuals from all over the world. Explaining what it is that we're doing. You see, my intention was simple. You guys just heard from my wife right now. The intention was to make an extra $1,000 a month so we could live with our heads above water. So we could not just do what it is that we had to do, but have a little bit more to do what it is that we wanted to do, right? And I went ahead, unlike her, I didn't start a business off at 20 years old. She was actually the bread earner of our family for a very long time. I left school when I was about 16 years old, and I had 21 jobs before I was at the age of 21 years old, right? I literally got fired from every job that I'd ever started, denied by the military 2 different times. I mean, I was in a point in my life where I went from sleeping inside of her car at one point, sleeping inside of my friends' houses on their couches. And honestly, I was just uncomfortable with not only my situation, but who it was that I was as a human being, right? But somewhere along the line, I kept on seeing trading online. I kept on seeing Forex. I kept on seeing cryptocurrency online. And truth be told, it intimidated me. When I first started looking at charts, I saw it. I said the lines, the charts, the graphs, the colors, the numbers. Yo, pause. Yeah, as I said, I left school when I was around 16 years old. So this stuff was not just foreign currency, foreign exchange, but a foreign language. And you know what they say, you don't know what it is that you don't know, right? So I decided to go out and start looking for that information. Fortunately, I had a wife that was empowering me to go out and look for that information. Fortunately, I had somebody that was telling me, yo, babe, go out and find out what it is that you need to find out, right? Cure that curiosity that you got going on. So I started asking the right questions to the right people, right? And I came across an individual online, very similar to some of you guys right now that are on this call. Maybe you shot out a message or you were given an invitation to be on this call right now. And I messaged this guy. By no means on the exterior did he look like he'd be able to teach me something that was found on Wall Street. This was somebody that had face tattoos, somebody that was extremely unconventional in the business world. But my mom always taught me not to judge a book by its cover. So I dropped my guard. I dropped my ego. I opened my mind, and I jumped on a call with this dude. He introduced me to a gentleman by the name of Christopher Terry, who's the CEO of I Am Mastery Academy. Now, that sounds a lot cooler than what it is, because back then, this thing looked like Windows 1998, right? Back in 2015, when we found this, it looked like Windows 1998. But what was supposed to be a 15-minute conversation ended up being over 2.5 hours. And what he did, he didn't try to sell me. He didn't try to convince me on anything. He strictly educated me. And you see, that education was enough for me to open my mind and wrap my head around the ideology that trading could potentially change my life. I had to understand that it was not a get rich quick. I had to understand that this was something that was going to take time. This was a skill set that I was learning. This is something that only the 1% of the world is doing. But if I could somehow just gain access to that information, then I too could change my situation. So look, guys, we're not going to have any fluff here. I'm not going to try to sell you on anything. I'm going to educate you. And for some of you guys, this is going to be exactly what it is that you're looking for. And for some of you guys, it may not be. But we understand only 1% of the world trades in the foreign exchange and cryptocurrency markets. So I understand if only 1% of this call gets started, right? But I really believe by the end of this call, it won't be a maybe. It's going to be a yes, I need this. I want this. I got to have it. Or no, I'm going to keep it moving, right? So that being said, guys, I'm going to go over the agenda one more time. Over the next 20 minutes, we're going to go over 2 of the largest financial markets in the world. If you have pen and paper right now, would be an ideal time to start taking notes. We're going to go over 2 of the largest financial markets in the world. We're going to go over an educational platform that's cutting the learning curve so people like you and I have the opportunity to learn this stuff. We're going to go over how it is that you can get this platform absolutely free, and then how it is that you can get paid for sharing this opportunity as well. So let's jump right into it. You're here to learn about Forex and the cryptocurrency markets. Well, let's talk about Forex for a brief moment. You see, Forex is an abbreviation for the foreign exchange markets. Guys, the foreign exchange markets are the largest financial market in the world. Roughly $5.3 trillion a day are traded in the foreign exchange markets, right? And to put that into retrospect, that's about 10 times the size of the New York Stock Exchange. The way it works is actually pretty simple. You see, in the world, we have countries. These countries have currencies. And the currencies have a value that's dictated by what's going on in the world, the economical situation. So things along the lines of commodity prices like oil and gas, things like special events like the Olympics or the elections, things like wars, terrorist attacks, whenever Trump decides to talk. These are all things that are going to fluctuate the values of currencies all over the world, right? And back in the day, we used to trade, maybe you've traveled from one country to another and you had to trade the US dollar for the Japanese yen or the Great Britain pound for the peso, whatever the case may be, right? We had to do so on a physical basis. But we all know that we're part of the most socially connected generation that there's ever been. So we have accessibility to do so from the comfort of our phones and the comfort of our homes, right? And the second market that we're here to focus on is the cryptocurrency markets. If we are no stranger to the word Bitcoin, by no means. We all know what Bitcoin is, or kind of know what Bitcoin is, but I can guarantee that less than 1% of this call actually owns Bitcoin. You see, Bitcoin is a non-fiat based currency. Essentially what that means, that's a fancy way for saying there's no physical dollar. Everything is ran through a cloud and a technology called the blockchain technology, right? And there's a reason as to why it is that banks all around the world are buying up cryptocurrency, financial institutions like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. There's a reason as to why it is that the biggest company in the world, Amazon, accepts payment. You can do your groceries on Amazon utilizing cryptocurrency. You see, there's a reason as to why it is that you're even able to buy real estate utilizing cryptocurrency, right? And that's because this is the currency of the future. Now, I want to show you guys an educational platform with a 4-step process that's going to help you guys learn how to maneuver through these markets, right? You don't have to have known this information before. This was made for people like you and I. This was made for individuals that had no prior experience, right? But I want to talk about before what we do, what we don't. You see, what we don't do is we don't take investments here. What we don't do is we don't trade your money. What we don't do is we don't share profits or revenue shares or anything along those lines. See, what we believe here is that if you give a man or woman a fish, you're going to feed him or her for a day. But if you can teach that individual to fish, you're going to have the opportunity to be able to feed them and their families for a lifetime. You see, we're an educational platform, right? We're an educational platform. And we teach you how to trade your own money, right? I want you to think of this like the Harvard of Forex or trading, the Yale, the Oxford of trading, right? And inside of this platform, we have educators, we have a curriculum, and we even have textbooks for you to be able to study in order to become a self-sufficient and profitable trader inside of the markets. What's really dope about this is that it gives us all an equal opportunity. No matter where it is that you're at in the world, we all have the same accessibility to the same education and the same markets, despite what your economical situation may be, what your cultural situation may be, or where it is that you're at in the world, right? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share this screen right now so you guys can actually see it. No slideshows, no nothing like that. I'm gonna show you the platform itself as if you're getting started today. So, guys, this is I Am Mastery Academy. Welcome to I Am Mastery Academy. A little bit earlier, I told you guys that we are very similar to a university, right? And we have a curriculum, and I want to start off with that. You see, we have 4 steps to becoming a self-sufficient trader, and step number 1 is called the academy. Now, some of you guys have actually been to university, right? Some of you guys have majored in certain things, right? Whatever it was that you were majoring in, whether it was in the medical field like my wife, right? Whether it was to become a lawyer, whether it was to become a doctor, you didn't immediately jump into that. You see, you had prerequisite courses that taught you the terminology and the history of whatever it was that you were studying so you weren't completely lost. So you were qualified to start studying what it was that you wanted to major in. Guys, we don't expect anything differently here. So the first step is to go through the academy, right? It's a series of pre-recorded videos that are going to teach you the terminology and the history of trading. Some of them are as short as 4 minutes long. Some are as long as 15 minutes. The average individual gets through this in a 7-day span. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what this is. That's the test that it has.
Welcome to the IM Mastery Academy for Forex. In this course, we'll be talking about what 18 billion and the New York Stock Exchange can trade about $22 billion daily. Forex, on the other hand, averages trades of over $5 trillion every single day. It is, without doubt, the largest and most liquid market in the entire world.
So guys, they're animated, they're fun, they're short, they're sweet, they're simple. And essentially this is going to qualify you for step 2, which is our hands-on mentorship program, right? So step number 1 is that you go through the academy, you learn the terminology and the history of trading. Now, step number 2 is that you begin to get the hands-on guidance that you need in order to succeed. Look, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I've never been the type of individual you could give a book to or give a video to and say, read this, watch this, and me truly comprehend what it is that I'm learning. No. By no means has that ever been me. I've always needed that hands-on guidance. I've always needed somebody to be right next to me. I've always needed somebody to ask questions to. And that's what we've done here. Guys, I joined this company back in November of 2015. And over the course of the past few years, we've gone ahead, myself, my business partner, the CEO, and the amazing corporate staff have developed relationships with traders all over the world, some of which have been found in Wall Street, some of which have been found in our street. They got really good at what they were doing inside the academy, worked their way up, and now they're educators for the platform. We have over 100 different educators, and check this out, in about, I think that's like 12 different languages right now, right? And these educators are educating virtually 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day to accommodate all time zones and all schedules, right? And here, what you're doing, the markets are closed right now, so no one's educating, but essentially what it is that you're doing is you're jumping onto these educator sessions and you're learning their strategies, right? You're learning directly hands-on from an individual that has made a sufficient amount of income and impact inside of this industry, right? And here, I'll actually show you firsthand what's going on. These individuals are going to be analyzing the markets for us. If you're not able to make the sessions because you're at work, you're spending time with the kids, you're in the gym, whatever the case may be, we have them recorded in an archive so you never skip a beat. But I want to show you guys firsthand really what's going on in these sessions.
Like Money Hits Different, Chairman Came Up, Back at Zero, It All Makes Sense. So he actually has a lot of really cool songs. They're all about trade.
Right now, they're analyzing the markets. It's always a really good environment. People are making money.
A lot of questions. I just want to look for trade setups because I have to be out of here in a couple of minutes. Okay, so I want to give you all the trade setups that I can find. Actually hit stop loss on the scanner, but it doesn't mean it was a bad trade, right? A lot of manipulation towards the high, and now we're pushing back in. We just need the sellers to go and control on the DMI, and we will be rocking and rolling with NZD, USD as well, right? So a lot of trades, a lot of pips today. So let me give you out everything, all right? First, we're gonna do NZD CAD. I don't know why everything keeps disappearing off of my screen. Okay, NZD CAD literally about to look. Buyers are coming into control. We just need that DMI to go back up. You know,
so essentially he's analyzing the markets with us in a very live setting. He's telling us when to get into trades, when to get out of trades, where our most profitable zones are going to be, and explaining. Now, if you look over to the right-hand side, there's a chat box where you're able to communicate with these individuals. Guys, this is a classroom setting online. You go ahead, you type in your questions, and you get them answered effectively and efficiently right then and there when it is that you need it. So remember, guys, step number 1 is that you learn the terminology and the history of trading within IM Mastery Academy. Step number 2 is that you choose one of the 100 different educators that you want to learn from in order to really succeed, to get your questions answered, and to really get that guidance and mentorship that you need, right? And step number 3, check this out. Step number 3, you know, earlier I was talking about some of the, I guess, textbooks that we have here, right? One of the things that I've heard, one of the cliches that I've heard when it comes to trading within the foreign exchange or the cryptocurrency markets or stocks or whatever it is, you got to be staring at the screen all day. It takes up so much time. Well, Yes and no. And I want to show you exactly why it is no on this end when you get partnered with us. You see, what we've done is we've created a series of artificial intelligence, right? These are so proprietary, right? So we're the only ones that own this information. And what we've done here is we've created a series of artificial intelligence with some algorithms that analyze the markets for us. They tell us when to get into trades, when to get out of trades, and where our most profitable areas are going to be, guys. Now, look at this. This thing's calling out on average about 6 to 8 different trades a day. That's 6 to 8 different times that you could be making money. And what we've experienced is a 60 to 70% win ratio on these things, right? And what's really cool is you get 60% in school, you fail, you make 60% in the markets, you're extremely, extremely wealthy, right? And I want to show you exactly what this thing is doing. So first and foremost, right here, we're looking at Bitcoin versus the US dollar, right? A matter of fact, let's go into this triangle stuff that we're looking at, right? Because without this, it looks like a heartbeat monitor, right? But I want to show you guys how this starts to make money and then, or rather make sense and then begins to make money. When it comes to trading, we're looking for patterns. Right? That's what trading is. We're looking for a series of patterns. Well, Matt, why are we looking for patterns? Because patterns tend to repeat themselves just like history. Yeah, if you're able to predict what's going to happen next, you're able to predict when to get into the markets. If you're able to predict when to get into the markets, you're able to predict how much money you could potentially make. You see, what we're looking at right now is a pattern called the harmonic pattern, right? And when it comes to trading, trading is all about when you get into the trade. So that's the first thing that this thing is going to do. It's going to give you, you see this green line right here? It's going to give you the entry point, right? The entry point. The entry point, it's all about, like literally, just like real estate is all about the location, entry when it comes to trading is the exact same thing. It's the difference between you making money or you losing money. Yes, that's right. It's trading. Trading involves risk, and risk means potential loss. But I'm going to teach you how to mitigate that risk as well, minimize that risk and maximize that profit. It's also going to teach you what direction the trade is going in, right? So right now we're betting that the Bitcoin is going to get weaker, right? It's going to give us our most profitable zones. So this is TP1 stands for take profit 1. TP2, take profit 2, and TP3, take profit 3. This trade, when we got in at the D, which is the entry zone right here, not only did we have the opportunity to make money on take profit 1, but our team also made money right here on this take profit part 2 as well, right? But it's also, let's talk about the loss really quick, because what if this thing's not right? I don't know about you. I'm not in the business of losing money. Right? So what we did was we created or we programmed this thing to have what's called a stop loss. That red line is the stop loss. In the event that the trade goes in the opposite direction, guys, immediately it's going to take you out before you lose all of your money. You get to calculate how much you could potentially make and how much you could potentially lose before you even enter the trade. You dictate this information. No one's trading it for you. The power and the control is in your hands, right? Now we're able to teach the average individual after going through the academy, which takes about 7 days. We can teach the average individual in an hour span how to utilize these scanners. And I'm telling you guys right now, it's as simple as being able to follow instructions. No, this is not a get rich quick, but it is definitely a get rich if utilized the right way, right? So step number 1, right? Step number 1 is that we learn. Here, let me stop sharing my screen rather quickly. Step number 1 is that we learn the terminology and the history of trading here within I Am Mastery Academy, right? Step number 2, you get the hands-on guidance that you need in order to succeed from different educators all over the world, right? Step number 3 is that you begin to utilize the artificial intelligence that we have here, that we've created here, that you're only going to find here. And then step number 4, well, you share this thing and you get it for free. You see, earlier I told you guys that you guys were going to learn about 2 of the largest financial markets in the world. Check. I told you guys that you guys were going to learn about an educational platform with a 4-step system that is going to help you become a self-sufficient trader. Check. Now it's time to teach you guys how it is that you can get this thing absolutely free. I don't know about y'all, but if it's free, it's definitely for me, ladies and gentlemen. So let's talk about free. Let's talk about how to get this thing for free. Just like any other university, you guys have the opportunity to get a scholarship program. Now, the scholarship gives you the opportunity to have a tuition-free education, right? You see, you introduce this concept to two people that you like, trust, care, respect, and love the most. You no longer pay monthly for this product. That means everything you make on top of that is profitable. And I think we can all agree that profits make sense. Now, I want to talk about the actual tuition for this thing, on how it is that you can get started. Let me share my screen with you guys rather quickly again. And then I'm going to show you guys how you can make money sharing it, which is where it gets extremely exciting as well. All right. Oh, didn't mean to do it. Here we go. So in order to get started, it is an initial investment of $235, right? $234.95, $235, and a monthly subscription of $175 a month. Now remember, guys, you introduce this concept to two people that you like, trust, care, respect, and love the most. Your monthly service is now waived. Remember, step number one, you learn the terminology and the history of trading. Step number two, you get the hands-on guidance you need in order to succeed. Step number three, you utilize the artificial intelligence that we have here. And step number four, you begin to share this thing with the people that you like, trust, care, respect, and love the most. Now, if you just want to get that scholarship and get that product for free and only introduce this concept to two people, then by all means, go ahead and do that. That's what 90% of our organization goes ahead and does, right? That's what 90% of our organization goes ahead and does, right? That's how it is that I got started. I had no intention of doing what it is that we're doing. But then there's the 10%. There's a 10% that decided to take advantage of the unique marketing strategy that we have here within the company. You see, I want to talk about, give me a second. What I want to do is I want to talk about traditional businesses and how the vast majority of them decide to market their products, right? When you think about traditional businesses, you think about TV commercials, you think about ads on social media, you think about billboards, newspaper articles, but let's be real. When's the last time you paid attention to those stuff? Right? When's the last time you saw a billboard and said, man, that's a sick billboard. I'm going to run into that restaurant. No. You see, traditional advertisement is twice the price for half the results, right? The businesses of the 21st century, they understand that there's been a digital shift. And they also understand the power of word of mouth advertising. You see, we listen to the people that we like, trust, care, respect, and love the most as it is. We just don't get paid for referring things. What this company has decided to do is allocate the marketing budget instead of putting into the stuff that our parents used to utilize in order to advertise their businesses. Well, guys, they created a compensation plan to allow people like you and I to get paid residually off of this. Now, when I first got started inside of this, my wife as my witness, we were not in a position to invest, but do not allow the lack of money to prohibit you from making money, right? You see, what we do here is we get paid by the company. We take that money, we throw it back into the markets, and now we're trading risk-free. I think you guys are really going to vibe with what it is that I'm about to show you guys right now. And then we're wrapping this thing up. Check this. One of the simplest marketing platforms that I've seen, and I've been in this industry since 2012, right? Very simply put, you introduce this concept to two people that you like, trust, care, respect, and love. Your product, a monthly subscription is now waived. That means you get the product for free, right? Everything you make on top of that is now profitable. If you decide to stop there, completely okay, right? But if you decide to go further and introduce the concept to a third customer, a third student, a third individual, somebody that you want to hold accountable, somebody that can use more time, somebody that can use more money, well, guys, you're now at the rank of Platinum 150. At Platinum 150, you have 3 customers in your organization making $150 a month. The company pays out weekly. If you decide to stop there, that's completely fine. Or you can take it the next level. You see, I've been all over the world. My wife and I have traveled to the Democratic Republic of Congo in Africa, which is the 2nd poorest country in the world. We've also been to economies that are thriving like Australia, minimum wage, $22 an hour. Don't go moving over there because their taxes are crazy. But despite whatever economy that we've been in, an extra $600 a month is life-changing. You see, I read a statistic once that an extra $600 a month would have salvaged most divorces in the United States back in 2018. That blew my mind, right? So 12 customers inside of your organization, $600 a month. You didn't introduce all 12. Maybe you did. Maybe you just introduced 3. $600 a month, $150 a week. So remember, I said trading involves risk, and risk means potential loss. So if you lose a little bit of money in the markets this week, it's okay because you have it coming in residually, and it's not being taken away from the money of your bills. It's not being taken away from food on your plate. It's not being taken away from your bank account. This is additional income being added. 30 customers inside of your organization, $1,000 a month. 75 customers inside of your organization, $2,000 a month. 225 customers in your organization, $1,250 a week, $5,000 a month. You guys can read the chart. I mean, there's a level for everyone here. It just depends on the seriousness of what you want to do. I've been able to accomplish every rank on this chart and then some. So we are able to teach you exactly how it is that you can do this. Now, again, I understand that if this side isn't for everybody, we totally get that. We totally get that. Because only 10% of the company actually does this, but 10% is now trading risk free. Now, let me stop sharing. Our goal here is very simple. Our mission here is super simple. It's to impact, enrich, and educate the lives of 1 million people around the world by December 2020. Currently, the company right now is sitting at 400,000. Our goal is to help create 1,000 Chairman 10s, which means 1,000 six-figure earners that have all impacted, enriched, and educated the lives of 500 people independently, right? And I'm a firm believer that what got us here won't get us there. That's why we're hosting these calls. That's why it is that we're doing what it is that we're doing. You see, the High Rollers squad, it's so much more than just making money. High Roller Society and the CEOs, it's so much more than just the impact, but rather the income. It's so much more than just the profits, but rather the people, right? And our goal, whether you're able to align with it or not, is going to be accomplished. Now, here's the question that you have to ask yourself. Here's a question you have to ask yourself. Is this for me? Right? Because when I first got started, guys, remember, this wasn't my intention. But after utilizing this platform for about a 2-month span, I couldn't keep my mouth quiet about it. Back in 2015, I started, I didn't tell a soul. 2016 hit, and I couldn't stay quiet. Since then, we've developed an organization of over 300,000 active customers inside of our team. My business partner and I, we've made over $16 million with this platform at the age of 28 years old, right? And we've helped over close to now 1,000, getting close to 1,000 individuals that have hit the rank of Chairman 10 and above, and countless thousands, tens and tens and tens of thousands of families that are now trading on a full-time basis from home. My goal is not to partner. Our goal here within High Roller Society and the CEOs is not to partner with people who need what we have. Everyone can use a little bit more time. I could definitely always use a little bit more money. And I'm always down to be a part of a community like this that really uplifts, helps people work on their mindset and not just their bank account. But that's not the goal of this. I really want to partner with people who believe in what we believe. Because if you believe what we believe, then you're going to achieve what it is that we've been able to achieve. And that's the mission to this. That's the goal to this. Guys, we've all been affected by what's going on right now in the economy, some more than others. And I think the ones that were least affected were the ones that were able to find a source of income from home. And I'll be damned if I have that opportunity and I don't share it with the world. So here's the next step. What I encourage you to do is I encourage you to get with the person that brought you onto this call. Everybody on this call that invited you onto this call is fam. This is an inner circle call. We host calls like this all the time, 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 people deep. This is an inner circle call. So get with the person that invited you onto this call. I'm on standby. I'm on my phone. If you have questions, send them to them. Get them answered effectively and efficiently. And if you want to get in contact with myself, I have no problem doing that as well. I'm literally on standby to jump on a call with anybody and everybody that needs questions answered, because I truly believe, like I said, accessibility to information changes situations, right? And that's what it is that we're doing here. So on behalf of the High Roller Society, the CEOs, and I Am Mastery Academy, we welcome you to the family, and we welcome you to the financial revolution.